one on the left in Lafayette.
If you took that stone wall away from the front of it, the house itself looks pretty much today, 100 years later, like
That's
it did
true.
back,
That's very true.
Back in those days.
The barn, I think, is gone. Yeah. It's because the golf. I think Flynn Golf's.
Yeah, that's all.
He didn't. That was gone before he even got involved with the thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, we had a previous picture of what we call the Longham pipe coming into Wenham Lake, which Longham was dammed up and built as a reservoir to allow water to come into the lake during the dry summertime when people were using it. Beverly and Salem were using it, and it was evaporating at a good rate. So they needed the reservoir to feed and get enough water in the lake. And this view of November 1895 shows you a good glimpse of what they call the Longham Reservoir.
Okay, and that can be seen today if one travels up Dodgers Row and looks off to the left quite a distance up the street there. We can still see the pond there today, and the pipes into the Wenham Lake. This was the beginning of when Wenham Lake water ceased to be pure and innocent, Harold, I believe.
That is true, because it gathered everything that can come into it. Actually, this Longham is part of Miles River. Yep. And it just happens to be a segment of it that they could dam up. Yep. And they could, once they shut off the water from Longham, they can probably let it run down Miles River again. You know, it has its source.
Yep. Well, let's see how many more photos we can get in before we have to call it a day, Harold. We're getting pretty much into an hour's worth of time here. 1890, a nice picture of the Bachelor House.
Oh, I knew we'd hit the Lafayette Bachelor House again. Do you want me to show these?
I do. Let's forget about the Bachelor House and go over to your new photographs here.
Okay.
Inserted.
We talk about Longham, and people don't realize what a feat it was to create the reservoir. And these photos, this one taken in 1894, shows the working process of tapping into Miles River, crossing Miles River, and piping over to the Longham Reservoir. Yeah. And the pipes look very small here, but they really aren't, because in this view it gives you a good idea what it took to dig these pipes down the ground and bury them so that it could feed the water.
And when you say dig, literally they dug with spades, shovels, horses and teams.
Here's a gang here digging. Yep. Yeah. And you can see that they've already dug a ditch across there to bury the pipe in.
Amazing.
I assume that it's below the frost line, but I don't know.
Yeah. We hope.
We hope. Yeah.
Okay. I think we can go on for a few more minutes here.
Okay.
We have a little time left, not much, but let's see what we can do here with this. This is I started to mention this close-up view of the Bachelor House.
Yeah. This. See, I'm getting haunted by Lafayette Bachelor House, and that's we saw an earlier one that he did with a 5x7 camera, and this is basically the same, except it shows a horse and carriage outside.
And we presume
T. Wilson's house.
Member of the Bachelor family.
Oh yeah, she's
out front there.
And that somebody else is here to the left of the telegraph pole. Yep. So I don't know.
Okay, very quickly now, we're going to have to go right to the end here. Let's take a look at a couple more, Harold.
All right.
I think we have time for about two more. And here we have Wenham Lake looking toward the pumping station, and this is of May of 1890.
Okay, now this shows, on the left, it shows the Beverly pumping station. On the right, it shows the Salem pumping station.
Two separate places.
Two separate places at this time.
At that time.
But I think it's all one complex.
I do believe
today.
so.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Nice picture here.
This you have to, like if you walk down the end of Lake Avenue and out towards the lake, this is about the view you'd get because it's looking south right down the lake.
Let's wind up our program with this nice view, really a nice view from Tarr's Hill. The Tarr family still residing in the same land today.
The next one also is basically Tarr's Hill.
Yes,
yeah,
and this one looks towards Main Street and the lake, and it was taken in 1890. This picture, Harold, is 101 years old as we look at this lovely landscape
That's
here.
right.
And we see how Wenham Lake
almost 102.
102. And that's just a lovely, lovely picture taken by Mr. Conant. We have so many more to go that we will certainly have to do more of this, and in fact we have another taping scheduled here very shortly. We have just gotten around the lake, and we're going to go down Main Street and go off some of the side streets, Cedar Street and so forth and so on, and you're going to take us pretty much as Mr. Conant's camera will allow through the Wenham Center and onward into Hamilton, and we have yet a mass of wonderful pictures to see, Harold.
Yeah, there's quite a collection.
4,000 or 5,000 you said that he was able to?
There were, I think the total plates that were preserved were about 36 or 3,600, I say.
The man was just phenomenal to do what he did, and in that 21-year span of time.
Yeah, that isn't very many years, considering that it's a good 21 years since I first bumped into this thing.
This is true, but in order to take a picture in those days, it was so much more complicated.
Oh, heavens, yeah.
And he went to all that trouble to take all of these pictures. It's just a wonderful testimonial, and we're so grateful to Mr. Benjamin Conant. And we're grateful to you, Mr. Harold Boothroyd, for joining us today on Times Past. We're going to put this program on to the Beverly's Times Past series, since we've covered a lot of the Beverly area here, along with showing it on Channel 11 to the Hamilton and Wenham audience. So I want to thank you ever so much for our second visit together, and I'm looking forward in a few days, a week or so, that we'll get together and we will continue our sojourn down Main Street and through Wenham.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Harold, for coming on. And thank you very much for watching this evening. We hope you're enjoying our little travelogue here, and we will have more for you and be back to see you as soon as possible. This is Ed Josephs saying good night for now.